I just saw Cottery Lovers importance of sound in EDCs and smells, things what you smell all the time. But I thought about it. Your sight, your sense of sound, your sense of smell. How can these help you in EDC? In say a self-defense situation. You're confronted by somebody in the street and you're looking at them as they come at you. Are they sweating? Are they shivering? These are signs, I can't get my words out, these are signs that the person is nervous. Now is it nervous, or is it they're on a bad come down? If they're rattling for more drugs, which is a term used mainly in the UK for heroin, when an addict's coming down, they rattle, they're in a lot of pain, they'll sweat, they'll shiver, they won't stand still. So if it's somebody like that, who's doing that kind of thing, you know, A, you've got to take them more seriously than somebody who you just go, don't be an idiot to. B, you know they've got nothing to lose, they're already in agony. If they get sent down to a police station, arrested, they're at least going to get methadone, which relieves that pain. These are the type of people who are more likely to act on it. Well, one of the types. Another sign, using sound and smell alone this time. Somebody comes up to you, I hate you, I'm gonna kill you. Now what do you look at? What's your first sign to take this as something where it's a serious risk? The voice, or the swearing, the smell, or the breath they put out in your general direction. Is it laced with alcohol, particularly spirits, even more so whiskey? The more of certain types of alcohol people have, the more violent they are. Look at a city centre on a Friday and Saturday night. When it comes to kicking out time, that's when the police are there in force, ready to handle the fights, ready to jump on anybody. In the wilderness, how can sound, sight and smell help you there? Sight's obvious. Looking for food, looking for game trails, looking for something what most people overlook. Dried animal feces, particularly cow. I'm in a survival situation. Why do I need cow poo? Easy. It burns very well. It contains quite a high methane content trapped in the dried matter. This makes it a good fire substitute. You can't always guarantee a source of wood, a good source of dry wood. But if you're anywhere near a field where there's cows, you've got fuel there. What else can this be used for? If we look at history, wattle and daub huts, this was a mixture of mud to create the bricks and daubed with cow dung to seal it, to insulate it. So there's an improved shelter just by using your sense of smell and your awareness of what's around you. Not everything can be solved by buying the best equipment. Even somebody with the best equipment, if they're not mentally sharp enough, will miss out on things what will benefit them greatly. You're near a cow field again, and you hear a lot of crows around it. Quite possible one of them cows is about to die, because crows sense death. They're also killers, but more, they live off rotting meat. So like a vulture, they'll be there, waiting for the moment of death, waiting to get a free meal. Why not take a note of their eagerness? Means you don't have to hunt that day. Means you can maybe get a couple of meals of supplies. You can't go for a huge amount, obviously, because you've only got a limited ways to cure the meat. However, you can always manage to make a basic smokehouse, or even smoke it using your fire to dry. Always think ahead. Without your eyes, without your ears, without your nose, you're nothing. Your mind can be sharp, you can have the best equipment, but if you don't know how to use your senses, you're still as lost as if you had nothing. Somebody with the sharpest of senses, and who's trained the mind, can make the tools they need. They may not be the best, they may not be the sharpest, but they'll do the job. A fragment of bone they've found can be broken with a stone to create a rough edge, an arrowhead, whatever's needed. A branch can be bent. A piece of shoelace out your pocket can make a string. Not the best of bowstrings, admittedly, but it'll give you a basic ranged weapon. You can prep all you want, but unless your mind is focused on what you need, you're prepping for, what you'll need, you can have a lot of things that will end up being useless to you. Trust mind, eyes, ears, nose, taste, touch. Why touch? There's a fire in your house, which I've mentioned in a previous video, but you touch the door with the back of your hand. If that's hot, you don't open that door or you're going to get burned. You don't touch it with your palm, or you're going to damage your grasping power. Smell in the fire is more of a moot point. The smell of smoke is going to be all throughout the building, less in rooms where it's not. The fire actually isn't, where they're not filled with smoke because the doors are closed, limiting the airflow through, but it's still going to be there. The sound. If your house is made heavily of wood, if the fire is in the next room, there's going to be crackling sounds of air bubbles bursting in the wood. It's dry wood, it's been up for years, it's been sealed, varnished. Why would there be air in it? Because wood has, just like the human body, trees have veins of a sort, which they use to pull water up from the roots. Air gets trapped in these. I'm saying fresh air. Could have been there for 10 years, 20 years, 100 years, however long, but it's still there. Back on the streets, other ways sight and sound can help you. You're crossing a road. You can't really see what's going on because your view's obstructed. There's no crossing there, so you're just having to cross by your own senses. The sound of a car engine, the crunch of gravel underneath the wheels. A group is near you. One of them pulls a knife, and you're not armed. How can sight help you here? Quick flash glance around the place. Plan your escape route quickly. Look for alternate weapons for you. Is a scaffolding up on a building nearby, where you might be able to get a bar from it? Loose bricks. Badly made fence, where you can pull a post from it. Sight, sound, touch, smell, taste can all be important. How taste? You haven't mentioned that yet. Taste. There's basic taste of things. What are poisonous? Generally, the human body, on most poisonous materials, sees them as tasting bad. Very bad. So if you get something you're not sure of, but you think it might be edible, and it tastes foul, your natural response is to spit it out, to swirl water around your mouth to get rid of that taste. For all you know, that taste response, that instinctive taste response, has just saved your life. It could have been something deadly poison. And then that leads back to mind and preparation. Always make sure, in the area where you're likely to be surviving, the generalised area, you know the plants that are edible. Yes, you can hunt for meat, but there's other things you need. And Americans tend to avoid certain parts of the animal. Liver, kidneys, heart. There's a reason why it was almost ritualistic in ancient cultures eating these parts of an animal. The liver is a strong source of iron, a necessary dietary requirement. Same with most other offal. What else on the animal can I use? If you look at the Indians, just about everything. The fat. What could weigh a ceiling, a tent? What's got a bit of damage there, what you've repaired with a bit of gaffer tape? Seal it again, use the animal fat, waterproof it. I want to make more clothes. Can I just put the skin on? Yeah, you can. But people talk about the smell of leather. If it's traditionally tanned leather, which a lot is, what are you smelling? Funnily enough, stale sheep's urine is what is used in traditional tanning. To this day, it is one of the best tanning fluids around. Urine in general. So you clean all the fat off, you clean all the things off, then you want to tan it, you want to protect this leather you've got for your clothing, additional warmth as long as possible. Take a leak on it. Let the urea and other elements of urine soak into leather, dry. That will cure the leather. make it last longer. How can sight, sound and smell be detrimental to me? You're hunting. You're upwind. You've just used your expensive deodorant, had a washing soap, wash your hair with shampoo. You're approaching the deer what you're stalking. It'll smell you from a mile away. You don't smell natural. Look for wild mint, lemongrass, other naturally scented forms of fauna. You use these instead of your deodorants, your shampoos. You'll blend with nature, less offensive to nature. So that deer might not smell you till you're 50 foot away. It's got you closer. It sounds obvious. You have to be quiet. But what's the best way of doing that? Is it by being slow and sneaky? No. You focus on being quiet, you make far more noise. But I'm being stealthy. I'm sneaking. How can I make more noise by sneaking? Easy. Remember back to when you was a teenager sneaking in the house late at night after a party. When you tried to be quiet, how many times did you wake up your folks? When you walk naturally, you walk a lot quieter by not caring and by measuring your steps. You're also less aware of your surroundings when you're trying to sneak. Just a few more thoughts on various aspects of survival. And a long rambling video, I guess. Take care. See you later.